You're watching ABC4 News.
Welcome back. Tax time is here and it can be confusing. So fortunately, we have certified public accountant and super tax coach Ron Valentine here with us today. So Ron, welcome. We all know that the deadline is April 15th for most regular filers, but isn't there another deadline that's coming up sooner?
Yes, there is. March 15th. Beware the Ides of March. So S corporations and partnership returns are all due a month earlier. The IRS made this change a few years back, so that is a deadline. It's very expensive if you miss it.
Yeah, so that's coming up in just a couple of days for businesses. What can the penalties be like if someone doesn't file by that March 15th deadline?
Yeah, the penalties are pretty harsh. It's roughly $200 per owner per portion of month that they're late. So for an example, suppose a family buys a cabin, they rent it out, they own it in an LLC that's taxed like a partnership, and they don't file their return until say October. So $200 times 4 owners times 8 months late, that penalty would end up to be about $6,400.
Wow, that really adds up exponentially. So are there any ways to get around that? Are there any ways to get those fees waived from the IRS?
Yeah, currently the IRS has a program where if it's your first time filing, they will waive the fee. They call it a first time waiver. Other than that, you have to prove reasonable cause for filing late. And sometimes that's difficult to do. A few years ago, we had a client we worked with, and he filed all of his S corporation returns. He filed about 4 of them late. The penalties were up around $15,000. We ended up taking it to appeals, and we got some of the penalties reduced, but it's a pretty stiff penalty if you miss those deadlines.
Yeah, so I know a lot of business owners are watching this right now thinking it's Friday afternoon, the 12th, that deadline's coming up on the 15th. Where should they be in their filing process by now if they haven't filed already?
Just file an extension. They should contact their accountant. Their accountant can electronically e-file an extension for them, and then they will have until September to actually file those returns. But it's important to get that extension in.
So that's where you come in as the super tax coach. If somebody has questions with all this PPP and these stimulus payments and everything, how can they reach you?
They can go to our website. They can Google Valentine CPA Layton, and they will find us there, or supertaxcoach.com. They're welcome to email me directly if they'd like, ron@supertaxcoach.com. To file an extension, we'd need to know their company's name, the federal ID number, and their address, and we could electronically file that for them.
All right, Ron Valentine, the super tax coach. I'm sure your email inbox is going to be full and your phone's going to be ringing off the hook for the next month or so.
It is so full.
All right. Thank you very much for being here with us today, Ron. And stick around because we'll be right back.
Thank you.